The adventure continues this week on Ford Outfitters.
On light tackle, these guys right here will match up to anything that anybody's ever caught. It's a tough fish. I sometimes tell my customers, we're gonna catch fish if I gotta get in the water and put them on the hook for you, but I don't think we're gonna, not today. Conway, whoa, we almost got it. Conway, there is a giant one right here, man. He is a stud. Yes, yes.
Bye-bye, running back to Key West.
Fred Eichler has taken all 29 species recognized by Pope & Young with a recurve bow. Conway Bowman cracked the code for Mako sharks on the fly. The outdoors has led them to adventures around the world. Now, two of North America's most accomplished sportsmen and their Ford trucks are on a mission to learn the secrets and stories of America's best outfitters. This is The Outfitters, built by Ford F-Series.
So I'm heading down to Key West, and that is Land's End. That is the final destination point in Florida. And driving down here is incredible. Once you leave Miami, you are basically in a really pretty wild wilderness area. You've got mangroves, you've got lots of water, and of course, the anticipation of catching really, really big and lots of fish. And I'm going to meet up with an outfitter by the name of Dave Esquinaldo. He's an outfitter, but he's also a sixth-generation Key Westerner. And he targets sharks on the fly, and that's something that I've always been fascinated about the Keys. The great shark fishery they have here, and how you can target them in very shallow water. Dave, I am so pumped to go out and do some flats fishing for sharks.
Really?
What's the plan today?
First place I'm gonna try to go across Boca Grande Channel. Out by the Marquesas. We're gonna fish on that west side there. There's these vast flats that are there. We're gonna have to see what the wind is doing, because depending on the wind and how it pushes us, it's gonna dictate what we do.
Got it, got it. And watching an apex predator come up, and whether it's hitting a bait or a fly, man, there is nothing better than that in fishing.
I've been fishing in these waters since I was probably 6 or 7 years old. Started out with my grandpa and started fishing with my older brother and them, and I used to mate on the boats downtown. In fact, I know a lot of people have heard of Captain Tony's Greyhound. I was a mate on that boat cutting bait when I was less than 12 years old. I mean, that was my thing. I wanted to do that all my life, and I ended up doing it. I've been running charters now for over 30 years. Fish anything from sharks to offshore sailfish, you name it, bottom fishing, groupers, we do it. And I enjoy chartering, taking people, finding the fish and being successful is more successful for me. I want them to catch the fish more than they probably want to catch it themselves. To get to the first spot, it's about a 45-minute ride. It's a good jaunt. You want a little snack, Conway? There's less people that go there, so I figure my customers have a better shot. It goes anywhere from like 4 inches, 6 inches of water, all the way up to like 6 feet, 10 feet. But we'll fish in about 3 feet to 4 feet of water. And we're gonna make long drifts with the baits hanging out, and hopefully, the sharks will come right to us.
No takers. He only prepared the conventional rig. Come on, you. The reason why is I wanted to get a shark to the boat before busting out the fly rod. So we're ready to go, and we're just waiting for those sharks to show up.
Come on, baby. Give us a chance. Give us one chance. It's been kind of tough. We started out this morning. We were trying to utilize the wind and tide, but the tide's kind of dying. We had started over to the east, but it's taking us away from the flats. So we're gonna move around the side of the Marquesas to the west side over here. Hopefully we'll have a little more flats to work with. There's some deep channels over there we're gonna try as well.
So Dave and I set up in this area that looked prime, set out a balloon rig.
See, I put a loop in it, Conway.
Okay.
And I tie it around the loop. So when he pulls it, boop, a balloon comes off.
And then all of a sudden, really nice little shark showed up. Boom, we were on. Woo, go baby. And then it was bendozing, powy, boom, the fish was gone. Let me grab one of those belts. much better.
You know, even though I've been doing this more than 30 years, I mean, I really still get excited every time I could get somebody out there and they've asked me to catch a certain fish. Oh, look, another one just came over there.
I think we're in the zone.
Yes, sir. Look, look, look. There's another one right there.
It's a big one. The fish made a number of really tremendously strong runs. Boy, they are incredibly strong.
Oh no, it's all energy, man. It's pure energy. You're doing a good job. You see how you're using your legs? You're not using your back? That's good.
I mean, it got me out there, you know, 150, 200 yards. Oh, this is a nice one, man. Look at this guy.
I think it looks like a bull shark. It's a bull shark. It's a bull shark.
Holy criminy.
Let's move this way.
Wow, look at that. I've never caught a bull shark. And these things are just, they're mean, man, aren't they?
He's beautiful though, ain't he?
That is a wonderful looking fish. Around and around and around. I'm working up and down the rail. Over, under.
Yes, sir. Around and around and around we go.
That is a heavy, heavy fish.
He's over 150 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, bull shark. And finally, I got the fish to leader. I think I got the fish to leader twice. And I'm looking at this, I mean, really, really big bull shark. Oh my God. Just staring at me with these eyes and these big teeth. And, you know, Dave went in there and just, you know, popped him off.
Good job.
Thanks. David, that was awesome. That was some serious bendo right there.
As an outfitter and guide that I've been doing this quite a while now, I kind of pride myself on putting my customers on the fish, as many as I can, and making the experience as good as I can. And we were successful. We got one shark, but I had high hopes of seeing a lot more than we did. Tomorrow's another day. I feel confident we'll get them. We'll give it a good shot.
The Outfitters is brought to you by the Ford F-150, the future of tough.
Dave, that was a pretty incredible day of fishing.
I'm kind of spoiled a little bit though, because I'm so used to seeing so many of them.
Yeah.
And them coming in. I don't know, we talked about it earlier. If we just go out there nonchalant type of thing and, you know, pretend like we're not fishing, then they'll come.
So Dave's a great captain and a great fisherman, but I was really excited to see his custom rod making shop. Now this is a rod shop.
It's my son Harrison.
Hey Harrison, I'm Conway. Pleased to meet you.
What's up, man? What you doing?
Working while you're out fishing.
Oh, Harrison and I have been working together now for 5 years, but he's been coming into the shop since he was like maybe under 12. Harrison's kind of taking over the ship while I'm out chartering.
Off goofing around.
Oh yeah, I'm working.
How many rods you build this week?
Lost count.
These kind of places really sort of represent a fishing community.
This is how they start. This is one that I'm gonna get ready right now. It's a raw blank. This is a light action rod, graphite.
And fishermen like Dave and his son Harrison. I mean, it's not only fishing for him, but it's the whole family tradition.
I'll use this entire piece to maybe get a piece that big.
Wow. I mean, the shop's insane. I mean, it's exactly what I had envisioned his shop would look like. Sort of an old school, kind of a mom and pop shop with lots of history.
A lot of cool pictures like this one of the shark from Cuba.
Look at this, how big is that great one?
That one right there is in the top 2 or 3 ever caught online.
Man. So is that you on Florida Sportsman?
Yeah, that's
cover
me.
shot?
Yeah, that's been a while back. They put a fake hat on me there. I know the story behind almost every one of these pictures, and it does bring back memories. I mean, it goes back quite a ways up there. For day 2, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go to a different area. It's not as far, and it's the northern flats that border the Keys. It's a place called the Green Turtler's Channel. And hopefully the tide and the wind is gonna work for us.
So Dave and I got out to the spot, and you know, the anticipation was that we were gonna get some fish.
Woo!
That's looking pretty good.
All right, here we go, Bo. Got these setting these baits out.
Game on. We set up and you know, waited for quite a while.
Yeah, this is beautiful, man. Perfect conditions right here. You got the wind perfect, the tide's going just like we want it.
And after waiting for, a while, all of a sudden, the balloon rig started going. I mean, it just started screaming.
We hooked one spinner shark, it took off. It was a pretty big one. It jumped, we had him on.
Oh, he's off.
And pulled the hook on him. Set back up, and then another really big shark came in, a big lemon shark. That's a 250 pounder right there.
Oh, yeah, by golly.
You didn't see him? See
No,
him?
I
He's
did.
right there. He's right there. He's right there. See, he's coming at us. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. There he is. See him on the bottom? Yeah, he's in our chum. He's in our chum. Oh, there's another one. There's another one right there. Oh, he saw us. Son of a... Remember what I told you about them being so cautious?
Yeah.
How sneaky he's coming in?
Yeah, and then as they get more comfortable, then they become more aggressive.
Yeah.
Then it would come in again.
Oh, there he is. Drop it, drop it, drop it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, look at that hog.
Come back. Throw it in front of him. He'll keep coming back.
Seems like he came right for it.
Yeah, he did.
We just couldn't really keep a track on it, and it stayed very, very deep in the water column, almost right on the bottom. And eventually that fish just disappeared. Tide basically slacked out, and that was how the morning started.
I know that big one's still here too.
Yeah.
Guess that's just the way it is. It's frustrating, but we just kept trying.
A feeding frenzy ensues, and it's an all-out turf war when the Outfitters returns.
We were basically mugged by a bunch of nurse sharks. Oh, this guy's eating this one. I mean, he's rattling my teeth.
Sharks hunt the tides, and savvy anglers follow the ebb and flow.
See, the tide is dying now.
So Dave said he was going to take me to the rock pile. So it's a bunch of rocks that are kind of piled out on this flat. So we went there, we anchored up, and the current was perfect. Let me get this other rod, because I can.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's huge.
There was like 8 of them, big ones too. The reason I go to that rock pile that we were at, we bottom fish there sometimes, and the sharks associate that, and it rings in the dinner bell.
Nice. Oh my gosh, this thing's huge, dude.
Oh, they're really strong, man.
I mean, he's rattling my teeth. Nurse sharks don't run. They kind of stick close to the boat. But that being said, it is a bulldog of a fight. Look at that thing. That thing's huge. And as I'm fighting the fish, I'm looking back at Dave, and he's trying to keep the chum away from the nurse sharks that were trying to eat the chum.
And they were all around the boat, under it, over it, on the baits, tearing the baits off.
Good God, look at the size of this thing. Once we got it to the boat, it was amazing to look at that fish up close. And once again, it was a bucket list fish for me. I've never caught, oh jeez, God, a nurse shark before. Now, he didn't burn a lot of line, but that thing kicked my butt.
Conway was happy, he told me he got this and that. It was an awesome day, he saw a bunch of things. And, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh yeah, right. But I still hadn't shown him what it could really be. And I really, really wanted it to happen. Listen, Conway, I need to get a little bit more chum, man.
Oh, yeah?
Do you mind if I pull over up here?
Oh, I'd love to see where you get your chum.
Yeah, that's right.
I dumpster dive in San Diego. I don't know if you do that, but yeah.
No, I got to buy it here.
Lucky.
Mostly everything in Key West, even the waste, you saw they save it at the marina.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they use it for chum and stuff. They grind it up here.
Lucky you. No dumpster diving. All right, Dave, got the chum.
Yep, ready to go.
4 boxes. Stick it right here. I've got this divider, so it'll prevent that chum from sliding up front. How many times does that happen?
Every time.
On the second day, we had a great day, I thought. I sensed that Dave really felt he hadn't shown me what the Keys sharking was all about. And great outfit is going to feel like that. He's just not going to give up after catching a few fish. He wanted to, let's get out of here, focus on getting me to the ultimate shark experience in the Keys.
Coming up on The Outfitters.
It was chaotic.
Whoa!
It was insane.
It just gave me a left hook right to the elbow.
I was glad I was in a 28-foot center console and not in the water.
Prime conditions greet angler and outfitter on the final morning of their Florida Keys shark hunt.
So the third day, the third and final day, Dave picks me up in the F-150, and he's got a hop in his step. The vibe is totally different because the tides are perfect. He's like, hey bro, got outgoing tide all day, and that's great. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's game on.
Here we go.
And you can tell when an outfitter knows it's gonna happen because they just have that energy.
third day of fishing, I am going to change total gears. I'm going to a place that I have fished before, hadn't fished it in quite a while. We used to go there when we were kids. It's a confluence of small channels in a place called the Lakes Passage. Oh, here's another one.
And all of a sudden he's like, hey bro, there's one right here. And it was like 5 seconds. I'm like, well, what's going on? I look down, oh, look at this guy. Holy, look at the size of this thing. 3 giant lemon sharks right at the back of the boat. And I'm like, game on. Dave found the spot. Look at this guy. How big is that fish, you think?
It's about 200 pounds.
So once those fish came into the slick, they were fired up. The bonita was out. They were actually trying to grab the bonita. So, we rigged up a fillet bait on the pitch rod immediately.
Here you go.
And I got to the corner, threw it out there, and it was within, I don't know, got it.
And within 5 seconds, he had a shark on.
That's the big one, too.
Yeah, that's the big one. Perfect, perfect.
Here he is. Dude, are you kidding me? He doesn't even know he's hooked yet. This thing's a huge shark. The first fish, it fought hard.
He doesn't even want to run,
I
man.
know. I see makos do this all the time. Like the bigger ones, until they wake up. They didn't make a tremendous run, but it was a battle. I mean, it was a battle. This guy hasn't even woken up yet. He doesn't even know what's going on. Right, fairly close to the boat. Oh, look at that big one.
Look at this one.
Fish would come close and then it would run out. But as I'm reeling this fish in, I'm looking back and more sharks are coming into the slit.
They don't know what's happening. They want to feed.
And as I'm reeling that first fish in, I think I counted 8 sharks around the boat. And some of them were well over 200 pounds. Yeah, these guys are just like, hey man, we're not leaving this chum slit. We're surrounded. We are not going swimming.
No.
Wow. Dude, are you kidding me?
See if I can get that hook out of there. Still got a lot of energy.
Yes, he does.
There's the business end, fellas. I thought he was coming to get me, man.
Man, that was a green fish. That is the most, that's the most dangerous fish to release because they haven't burned a bunch of energy.
Yeah, and you see how he came right there.
Oh,
had the long stick on him.
Sharks. I don't know. People can't get into this.
Wow, this is cool, man. As we stayed there and kept fishing for them, and they just kept coming and coming and coming, and at one point there had to be 20 sharks behind the boat. I mean, literally banging off the side of the boat right there, tearing the baits off.
Oh, son of a gun. Ah, you mother.
Whoa!
That guy came out of freaking nowhere.
Look at him on the surface. He just took half the bait, huh?
I didn't even see, he came out of nowhere, dude. Came out of nowhere, like right under the boat.
Ah! Took half the bonita.
We got more bonitas though, right? Dave, so I'll get one more unconventional, then, I mean, we've got so many around, I'll throw the fly out there,
Sure.
see if I can get one.
There's one ready.
Thing is, am I ready? That's the question.
That's a big boy right there.
I'm gonna put it right here. Look at that. Boink. Unbelievable.
Perfect. That's how you set the hook too, bro.
That's a good. Oh, no, he's coming back. I'm just gonna kind of hold on here.
Ooh, there
Oh,
he
he's
goes.
off.
Oh, no, he's coming at us, coming at us.
Oh, man.
Look at the size of this one.
Oh!
I mean, it got to the point where I couldn't help Conway. I couldn't tell him what to do. Luckily, he knows what he's doing.
Good way to get your morning workout, huh?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He's gone.
God
He's
dang
going.
it.
Downtown. Heading towards Cuba.
Yeah, he's going.
The scenario that happened today was exactly the scenario that Dave wanted me to see the first day.
Conway, there is, whoa, he almost got it. Conway, there is a giant one right here, man. He is a stud. You getting him, Conway?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
There's a big one right here.
Yeah.
We got 3 or 4 right here that are hot. So when you're finished with that, you could rest a couple seconds and we'll grab that.
Rig up that fly rod.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, I think I got him.
I tell you what, that's not a tiny one, friend.
Oh, no.
Oh, good. I'll be able to get that hook out too. I like getting that hook.
I'm gonna back up. Got it?
Woo! Yeah, baby.
20 minutes in, 2 to the boat.
2 to the boat.
So we went through the day, we ran out of chum. And at that point, I'm like, oh, we're done. The sharks never left.
You know, we ended up cutting little chunks and throwing them in, trying to finish what we were doing, but we really did what we wanted. We caught some on fly. Yes, yes, yes! Good job, man, good job.
They stayed on us the entire day. So if I get this guy to lead or to tip it, it's a legal fish, right?
Absolutely.
Well, he's there, and that, in my experience, doesn't happen. The minute you pull the chum, Yeah! The shark split. Well, these sharks hung around.
Whoa! We had a really good time today. He just gave me a left hook right to the elbow. That's how I had expected this to be for the last 2 days. Oh, you see how easy that came out, man?
Mission accomplished, huh?
Look at that. Chicken feathers and a Y.
And a bent hook. Is that hook kind of bent?
Yeah, look, he bent it out.
So you wouldn't want this to happen on the first day, would you?
No, then I would have had to have it happen every day.
The great thing about this trip was I got to catch sharks in a variety of ways. I got to pitch bait to them, I got to balloon fish for them, and then I even got to get the fly rod out, which was something that wasn't sort of the focus of the trip, but if the opportunity presented itself, I was there. And I'll tell you, it's always great to catch any fish on a fly rod, especially if it's a big predator. It's awesome. So it was really a very memorable trip.
I love getting that hook back.
On the popper, dude.
And fishing with a great outfitter like Dave, can't beat that.